Hey everyone, this is Video Game Lover, and welcome to another edition of the games that I finished for any time of month. And we're going to take a look at the 13 games that I beat for the month of November. So, let's get started, and we'll first begin with this game on the DS, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. This was an excellent game. I absolutely had a blast playing through Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. It's a very good Metroidvania game. I actually liked it way more than Dawn of Sorrow. The music, in my opinion, is better. Everything about Portrait of Ruin is just better than Dawn of Sorrow, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. And the boss battles are cool. It's a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that game. I also finished Spider-Man Edge of Time, which I actually had no idea that I missed out on another Metroidvania-style Spider-Man game, but Edge of Time ain't good. Oh no. An unbelievable, painful, mediocre, and boring game. Never playing that game again. That was boring. So, Edge of Time, not good. I also finished, I guess we'll kick this off too, El Tigre. And as I mentioned this in my pickup video, the only reason I played and beat this game was because it was a beat 'em up and it was only an hour. Trash. That game was gutter trash. So anyways, on to a few PSP games that I finished the year. I finished Daxter on the PSP. Everyone considers this to be one of the best platforming games on the system, and yes, it's really good. This is an excellent game. I actually ended up playing this before Jak 2, because this game actually takes place, it shows what Daxter did during the time skip in Jak 2, so it's a really, really solid game. I really enjoyed this game a lot. So, a really solid game. Then at long last, I don't know what really took me this long to finally play this game, but I finally played and finished it. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is a very good game, amazing music. But here's the thing, and this is going to kind of upset some people. I don't think it was a good idea for me to play this game after I played all the other Metroidvania games, because I just feel like games like Aria of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin and Circle of the Moon actually kind of play better than Symphony of the Night. That's just my personal opinion. Don't get me wrong, this is an awesome game, and it's the one that started it all, but I think if you're going to get into the Metroidvania games, you're going to have to play Symphony of the Night first. That's just my opinion. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the Inverted Castle. I also finished Infected, which I plan on doing a review of because this game was a lot of fun. I had a great time playing through Infected, so it's a really fun shooting game for the system. Very fun and short. Great game. I plan on doing a review for this game really soon. So those are the games I beat on PSP. So now we're going to get into the only Wii game I finished, Surf's Up. And the only reason I beat this was because it was short. It was an hour. And you know what? Despite it being an hour, it's actually not a bad game. It can be pretty fun sometimes. I will say the last level was a little frustrating, but not a bad game. But what's funny is that this game actually is a lot different on the PSP. It's actually a legit racing game, so I thought that's kind of funny. Alright. So now we're jumping to the PS2, Black. This is a good first-person shooter, but there are two things that really hurt this game. One are the enemies are bullet sponges. I get that I get they have a lot of bulletproof vests, but they're human beings. They're not Terminators. Why in the heck do they take so many bullets to die? I mean, it's ludicrous on how many bullets these enemies can take. It's just ridiculous. And another one of the worst and dumbest decisions was the checkpoint system. So, in every mission, you're only getting 2 or 3 checkpoints. So if you're in let's just say 10 minutes in a certain section of a level, and you didn't get the checkpoint, you die, you have to do that whole section all over again. It's why they did that. Why they did that. There's nothing wrong having multiple checkpoints. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. The important thing is you have to have fun with the video game. Why do you do this? Why? Why, EA? Why do you do this? Why? But yeah, it's not a bad game though. I enjoyed it. Bottom go on PS2. It's an okay platform. Well, actually, it's a fun platformer, but it's very short, though. I actually plan on reviewing this game soon if I get the right equipment, but nothing really to write home about. It was an okay game, because as I pointed out, I used to have the GameCube version, but that version didn't work, so I just got on PS2, so not a bad game. Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. This was the game that I bought back in 2019 and got rid of, but I decided to add it back. It's a decent hack and slash game, but it can get really, really redundant. Kind of like Rampage Total Destruction, coincidentally also made by Midway. These games are fun at first, but then they get a little repetitive. But I will say this, though. When you're leveled up and you go back to the past levels, they're actually a lot more fun. So, it's not a bad game, but it's just okay. It's just average. Now, this game was really dope. I enjoyed this game a lot. Ratchet Deadlock. This was an excellent Ratchet & Clank game. Very simple, can be a little mindless, but I really enjoyed this game a lot. But, well, as I mentioned this in a past video, I actually had no idea this game existed. I just thought it was the 3 Ratchet & Clank games, and then we jumped to the PS3 era. I had no idea there was a 4th entry, and it's a really good game. I really had a good time with Ratchet Deadlock. Last but not least is a game that I'm actually disappointed of after I beat it. Because this was a game a lot of people really liked, but boy, is this game not aged all that well. Heavenly Sword. I actually finished this game. It's a short hack and slash game by Ninja Theory, and it was kind of like God of War in a way, but boy, is this game not aged well. First of all, the frame rate is horrible. Look, I understand that it's an early PS3 game, but come on. Even early PS3 games, they could have at least fixed the frame rate. It is so hard to play this game, and especially in a hack and slash game, you have to have 60 frames. Or if anything, 30 frames, but it has to be steady. I feel like there's also a little bit input lag, and the final boss is unbelievably frustrating. That has to be one of the most poorly designed final bosses I ever played in a game. I did not really have a good time with Heavenly Sword. I'm sorry. I know there's a big audience with this game, but I'm just not one of them. So, those are the games I finished this month. We only got one more month, which is December. And let's see how many games do I finish for that month. So, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is Video Game Lord 58, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.